And it was like, if you've not studied till 12th, so God was sort of punishing me, now you have to study. I read all those acts and came up with formulas and models, business models, and how to unlock the value, how it is win-win, risk-reward. I made nice presentations and nice risk-reward frameworks, and I used to make nice presentations. And there were a lot of challenges, because when you entered those mantralayas, sort of the equivalent mantralayas, the ministries, Shastri Bhavan and all of that in New Delhi, you were not allowed inside the office by the CISF guards, because you never had a pass, right? So I used to say I am an IAS officer from Maharashtra and enter it. I used to take a jacket and all that. I used to be well dressed, and they used to take me very seriously. And okay sir, okay. I used to go in, and then what I used to do is, in my card I used to write. I had only one office in Nagpur, a very small office in Sadar. So I used to write Nagpur, Delhi, not Delhi. I used to write everything else, because if I say Delhi, where in Delhi? So I used to write all the metros and blah blah, and used to go there and give my card and write a small note and say I have something great idea to share to make this ministry a game-changing ministry, like what UK did, like what Thatcher did in the United Kingdom in those earlier days. And I used to make a small note and send a pitch, which I call the elevator pitch. Right? That elevator pitch was good enough. Yeah, to give me an appointment. Personal meeting. UK? Oh, this guy seems to be some global guy. Right? You got to give that flip, So I say, hey, look, this is what we need to do, and you connect then. And then you connect, and then, arey, chai bulao yaar, ye karo. So that's how it started. At the central level, there were rejections earlier. So I came back. That was again a long 1.5 years of journey, by the way. It took me 1.5 years to do that, because I went to the center and came back, and I realized that they are not accepting my proposal. So I came back to the state and gave this pitch, and I said I had a series of discussion with Mr. So-and-so, and when you are in the state, obviously you hold the center on high regard. If you are a secretary here, you hold that secretary in high regard. So then the secretary would ask you, okay, what did he say? So they said they are open for this idea, but they will take a lot of time doing this. And their suggestion was, why don't you start with the state, right? Build this, and we would like to follow that model. So I used to give a different flip to the state. And the secretaries, IAS officers were very excited. And they were very happy. Wow, this would work. Someone would say, hey, look, young man, this will not work. I've spent 30 years doing this. I am a power engineer. I worked in NTPC. I am an IAS officer. So I said, okay, let's take this challenge. If this works, pay me the fee, a slice of the action. Otherwise, you don't lose, I lose. So they took this challenge, right? And my first billing to the government was about 3 crores. That was my turning point in 2008. Right, that's what you get. And we did this time and again, 5 crores, 7 crores. So they were the kind of cash flows that we got from government projects. Innovations which were not driven by cost. So if it is a competitive thing, you will say 10, you will say 7, you will say, I will say 9, you will say 3, you got it. Right? But one is not looking at the capability. So that was sort of the stepping point of really doing that sector focus. And since then, we've today become champions. Our company has become now champions. I don't focus on that now. That has become champion in natural resources, energy, clean energy, infrastructure, ports. And then once I started getting money, I hired people, domain experts, who were, then I used to carry them and say, hey, look, he has 30 years of experience in, and they were grey-haired, and I made one of them as the chairman. So I said, he's the chairman of a company, and I'm working for him, right? He sits in my board. Even today, and for the last 10 years, I am just a 50% shareholder. Me and my brother, The rest 50 are independent people, are professionals who are known in the industry. So now when you talk to them, I have a different pedestal, right? You sort of decentralize them. I think over the years, I have become more open for ideas, number one. Number two, more importantly, I have got my own original thinking. If you want to be in the startup space, if you want to create something new, it could be business model innovation, it could be a disruption, right? Complete ecosystem disruption. You need to have your own thought process. And your own thought process comes not from reading a book, not from reading any of the classical books. It will come from yourselves, right? So original thinking is the key. But once you are an original thinker, you need to then read a book and put it in a framework. Because there are so many frameworks out there which will tell you what not to do. First is obviously original thinking. Secondly, obviously listening to others, which is called validations. Third is put it in a framework and validate it. Don't make those mistakes again. I think these are the three things, and you should be addressing a problem which is large enough, which is a burning problem. Right? If you do this, and essentially I have done all of this unknowingly. I was not knowing all of this, but if you pick up any startup book today, they would be perhaps talking all this. Right? But I think this is something that I really practiced, which has taken me a lot of time. I could have done it earlier on. I could have done a lot of things in, let's say, 1/10 of the time if I had known this. And I will suggest the young startups to do this.